Hello, everyone. It's Dr. Vicky here speaking to you from the Seeds of Transformation Healing Center. Welcome to 2024. We're going to be looking at the tarot for the sign of Aries. That's Aries Sun, Aries Moon, Aries Rising for the month of January 2024. If you would like to know what the whole year holds for Aries, you can check out my Aries 2024 video that now. Um, and I look at the big picture of the whole year for Aries. It's about 20 minutes too detailed. But if you are interested in a detailed look at your chart, that would require a personal reading, which I do. I do hour and hour and a half personal readings. If it's your first reading, I prefer the extra time if you can find your way to do that. Otherwise, an hour is a good amount of time to understand your chart and your purpose. Now, the readings I give are combinations of astrology, numerology, and Kabbalah. They're very unique and they're very deep and very informative. And most people who get them really do enjoy them. All recordings are all sessions are recorded, and you can download them from Zoom after they're done, and you can have them for as long as you like. They're yours, but you do have to download them. Okay, so let's get started. We're going to Aries for the month, and we're going to use the same zodiac that I've used before. So let me share that screen with you. Okay, so I am going to timestamp this. We'll do the astrology first, and then we'll get to the reading. So if the astrology is not what you're interested in, you can just go right to the reading. As I said, I will timestamp it. So we're looking at Aries. Aries, as many of you know, especially Aries, is a cardinal fire sign. Your mantra is I am, and your ruling planet is Mars. Now, we are in an 8 vibration year this year. 2024 vibrates to an 8. 8 on the tree of life is found within on a path between Gebura and Hesed. Gebura is about cutting away, and Hesed is about expansion. And it's completely located in the throat chakra energetically. It's also an 8, and an 8 deals with as you sow, so shall you reap. And so for many of us who have been sowing seeds for many years now, we will see a harvest. We will see a harvest. That's true of everybody. So it kind of depends on what kind of seeds you've planted. And this particular picture is just generally where things are moving around in the chart this year for Aries. This is the whole year here, okay? But now we're going to look specifically at January. Now, January 1st, the first week of January, we have the first day of January, we have Mercury station direct. Stations direct at 23 degrees of Sagittarius. For Aries, that is your 9th house. Here's Mercury. And then eventually it moves into Capricorn. That actually happens is it week 2? Week 2. Mercury ingresses into Capricorn. We have it right here on the 13th. So on the 1st, it goes direct in Sagittarius. And by the 13th, it has ingressed back into Capricorn. That first day, we also have Venus make a last quarter square to Saturn. Saturn is sitting in your 12th house, as you probably are well aware of. Saturn moving through the 12th house is one of the more difficult, challenging transits of Saturn. Saturn tends to test us and make things real. And the 12th house is, to a certain extent, the things that how we undo ourselves. And so if there are any habit patterns or things in which you're consistently shooting yourself in the foot, this is the time when those things will be tested and come up. And of course, you can always make a different choice. Saturn through the 12th house is also somewhat of a karmic clearing. And so a lot of things that have been going on since the last time Saturn was in this place, which would have been about 29 years ago, that cycle is coming to an end. And you're just sort of sweeping out your karmic closets with that. This Venus last quarter square is a crisis in consciousness square. We are questioning authority with this. Venus is what we love, what we value. It's our relationships. And of course, Saturn is the structure of our consciousness and our ability to be self-responsible. So those are the issues that can come up in that. Venus at this time is in your ninth house, as it's still in Sagittarius. On the 3rd, we have Mars ingress into Capricorn. Now, this is especially important for you because you are a Mars ruled sign. Mars likes being in 3 signs. Mars likes being in Aries, of course, Scorpio, and Capricorn. In fact, it's exalted in Capricorn. So when Mars moves into Capricorn, it's quite powerful for the Aries. Now, that movement into Capricorn on the 3rd is going to move that Mars into your house of career, public standing. So the things that you do will certainly be seen. And Mars likes the structure that Capricorn brings to the party. And Mars has a nice, easy sort of run through Capricorn because Capricorn creates a structure that Mars can run through. And it can be a very productive time. It can be a very ambitious time for you. So we can see that this is really kind of a nice way to start the year for Aries. That's not always true. Mars isn't always in Capricorn at the beginning of the year. If you notice, your 10th house is quite full. This is this time of year. We have quite a few shifts and changes. The personal planets, Venus, Mercury, and Mars move from that 9th house into that 10th house. The 9th house is also a public house. It's a little bit more philosophical in nature, whereas the 10th house is a little bit more practical in nature, and a little bit more ambitious in its nature. But we have those personal planets moving into the top of the chart here. Week 2, we have Mercury making a last quarter square to Neptune. Now, Mercury has been retrograde, and so this last quarter square is the last of, I believe it's the last of 3 last quarter squares. Again, when you see last quarter square, we're questioning authority. The thing with Mercury and Neptune is that Mercury can be a little confusing. Here's Neptune in Pisces. When Mercury squares it, Mercury is in Sagittarius. So this can be, in the nature of Pisces and Sagittarius, a time of a spiritual crisis, a spiritual crisis. Week 2, oh, I just did that. Also happening on week 2, on the 9th, we have the Sun make a trine to Uranus. This is easy flow for change. We also have Mars making a sextile to Saturn. So we have easy flow to change, and Mars in Capricorn, a sign that it likes being in, making a supportive sextile to Saturn, the ruling planet of Capricorn, is a really nice aspect where we can move in the direction of progressive change. On the 11th of January, we have a new moon at 21 degrees of Capricorn. That new moon is occurring in your 10th house. This is a time to start a new project. And of course, Capricorn deals with our authority in the world, responsibility, right? So whatever you plant at this time, you have to be willing to do the work. You have to be willing to be responsible and do the work and do your due diligence, which quite honestly, sometimes Aries forgets, because Aries loves to start things, but doesn't always finish things. And so you have to really apply yourself with this energy if you want it to manifest itself into something. We do have a full moon, and I don't think I put the full moon. Oh, I missed the full moon. We also have a full moon. Now, this is happening week 4, the side of the new moon at 6 degrees of Leo. Leo is your house of creative self-expression. It's right here. The full moon is right here. And so seeds planted at the new moon on the 11th come to fruition at the full moon on the 25th. And it comes to fruition in your house. Some sort of communication, right? Some sort of getting the word out. When the full moon comes, it's going to come in a place where you'll have pretty much free expression. On the 12th, Mars will make a trine to Jupiter. Whenever we see a trine, we know that there's easy flow. Mars and Jupiter. The problem with this is that you can overestimate your ability. You can overestimate your energy levels. You can hurt your back, really. You think you can do more than you can do. So just be aware, have a little bit of, holding back a little bit, which isn't your thing, but on the 13th, we have Mercury enter the sign of Capricorn. So Mercury has been in your, you believe to be true. And then it moves into Capricorn in that 10th house again. So whatever you're saying will be heard. So make sure you're saying the right stuff, guys. Week 3, we start with, on the 15th, we start with the sun making a waning sextile to Neptune. This is an opportunity for progressive change. And we're dealing with Neptune, so it can be compassion, raising all boats. Hopefully this is going to have something to do with some sort of peace accords or finding some common ground in some situations that have been very difficult to find common ground in. That's just a general thought in this thing for you. We're looking at, let's see, we have the sun at this point is still in Capricorn, and Neptune is in the 12th house, as it is in Pisces for 14 years and in your 12th house for 14 years. So this is an opportunity to move in a progressive direction, but there's a spiritual flavor to this. And so this is a time of cosmic consciousness. It's very sad to you, quite frankly. And if you want to know, how do I do this? How do I deal with this? What can I do? Ask Spirit, because Spirit will. Well, Spirit always answers you, but sometimes it's easier for Spirit to get through, and this is one of those times. On the 18th, we have Mercury making a sextile to Saturn. This is also lovely because to your communications. Okay, bring structure to your communications. On the 19th, we have a couple of things happening on the 19th. We have Mercury making a trine to Jupiter. Again, free flow of energy. This is actually part of 3 Mercury trine Jupiters that occurred. 2 of them at the end of 2023, and this is the last one. And the reason for that is because the first one occurred, and then we had a Mercury retrograde, and then it happened again, and now Mercury's direct, and this is the last and final time. Mercury and Jupiter deal with our mind. Mercury is our logical mind. Jupiter is our more intuitive, psychic mind, and there's a flow there. So this is a really good time. There's a lot of really good information and energy at the beginning of this year, which is really good because the end of last year was just a horror show, quite frankly. Mercury at this time is in the 10th house, Jupiter in the 2nd house. This is also a really good time to utilize your communications to make money. If one of the things that you do is maybe you give speeches or you tell a story, or maybe you need to make a speech, tell a story, get out there. I do realize that standing up in front of people is one of the scariest things that people ever have to do. This is a good energy to do that, even if you're terrified. There's a lot of support for it. So don't be afraid to put yourself out there and show your face and have people hear your story. Remember that full moon comes to fruition in the place where, well, the fifth house is kind of the house of the storyteller in my estimation anyway. So, all right, now, oh, okay. So we also have Venus make a last quarter square to Neptune. Now, this is a little bit more difficult. Last quarter squares are crisis in consciousness. Again, it has that flavor of spiritual, a spiritual crisis, perhaps. But Venus and Neptune have a special relationship because Venus is the planet of love and Neptune is the higher octave of Venus. Venus is at this point in Sagittarius. Neptune is in Pisces. That Sagittarius Pisces combination really is the energy of uh, uh, a spiritual crisis. Now, on the 20th, we have the Sun make a conjunction to Pluto. The 20th is the last day, at least until September, that Pluto is in Capricorn. Pluto exits Capricorn on the 20th. And but before it does, it conjoins the Sun. So what happens on the 20th, and this is a big deal, we have Pluto and the Sun make a conjunction. And then a little while after that, the Sun moves into Aquarius, and then a little while after that, Pluto moves into Aquarius again. It moved into Aquarius back in March of 2023, and it was there till I believe it was June or July, I can't remember, of 2023. And that little bit of taste of Pluto in Aquarius was a very different flavor compared to Pluto in Capricorn, especially towards the end of the year. When the nodes shifted into Aries and Libra and Pluto squared the nodes. That really started a really intense and difficult fall and winter season for us. Well, up in the northern hemisphere and southern, it would have been spring and summer. Okay. So that's a big deal. It's a big deal. That day on the 20th, incidentally, vibrates to a 2911 vibration. That's the Three of Wands in the tarot, waiting for our ships to come in. Okay. So this is sort of that energy again of harvesting what has been for years. 2911, the word light, the light is on. Week 4, we have Venus finally join the party in Capricorn. Now, Venus in Sag, she's sort of like free, you know, she has her hiking gear on, right? When she gets into Capricorn, she's all business. She puts on her business suit, she puts her hair in a bun, pearl earrings, maybe a thing of pearls instead of, you know, wear when they go hiking around their neck. I don't know. A whistle, I guess. I don't know. I don't go hiking that much business. And this really sort of brings in that the Nubian values energy. And also Venus still likes to have fun, but in Capricorn, she likes to have fun by being the boss. So you're the boss, guys, you're the boss. On the 25th, we have a full moon in Leo. I spoke of that a little bit. Full moons are points of awareness. They're also fruition. And in Leo, it is about creative self-expression. Could also be about children if you have children. Leo is an energy of children. On the 27th, we have the Sun make a last quarter square to Jupiter. The Sun at this point in Aquarius, Jupiter in Taurus. Okay. Aquarius and Taurus are both fixed signs. The last quarter square is where you have to change your mind, reorient. reorganize. But when it's in fixed signs, it's a little bit more difficult. So you could feel a little bit of a challenge here. Um, let's see, Venus, the sun is in your house of friendship, and and uh, and Jupiter is in your house of money. So you may have a friend ask you to borrow money. You'll have to decide what to do about that. Um, Remember, you have a lot of stuff going on in that 10th house now. So you're going to be maybe a little less willing to just, willy-nilly, help somebody. You're going to say, well, how is this going to help me? Which is a kind of an Aries thing anyway, which is not a bad thing because we need to be able to consider ourselves in many situations, right? All right, on the 27th, we also have Mercury conjunct Mars. Occurs at 17 is action and Mercury Sabian symbol book here because I'm sorry, that's 17th degree. It's an interesting degree. All right, I don't. Well, I will when I do my monthly for the month. I'll talk about that degree. Um, you can just booknote that. All right. Let's see. Week 5. Now, this is an interesting week because week 5 on the 28th, vibrating to a 1 vibration, a 37-1. This is the King of Cups in the tarot. It's like a beginning. There's like a new beginning here. We have Venus making a sextile to Saturn, progressive change. Okay, progressive change, compassion, helping people in need. All of those things are applicable. Mercury making a trine to Uranus, free flow of energy, changing the mind, maybe changing the what's the word I'm looking for? Changing the mind, changing the paradigm, really, changing the paradigm. And then we have Venus make a waning trine to Jupiter. All these trines are waning trines. All the trines that we've had are waning, and waning trines have the energy of Sagittarius. So this is a time when we can really learn from each other and share our ideas and share our understandings in order to facilitate a lot of the sextiles that are asking us to be progressive in the way we move forward and more humanitarian. When I say progressive and humanitarian are not in all situations, but in this situation, we're really talking about the same thing. And then the last major aspect is actually your ruling planet Mars making a trine, waning trine to Uranus. So we've had a lot of thoughts and ideas and some challenges, but this is really when the rubber meets the road and you can act in a way that's free flowing or change. But this can also be an explosive time. So we do have to have some caution with this energy. All right, so that is what the chart looks like. And now we will do the taroscope. So let me get out of this. All right. So I'm going to be using the, what deck is this? Oh my God. It has just left my mind. Excuse me. I'll remember it. It'll come to me. Let's just do a nice shuffle. So this is for the month of January. Last year I did my January taroscope. The tarot part was for the whole year, but this is just January. We changed it up a little bit. The modern spellcasters. Knew it'd come. All right. Here we go. Let's see what's up for you, Aries. 10th house stuff here. We have the Hierophant. This is the Constitution. This is your Constitution. This is everybody's constitution. This is a Taurus card. This is about the structure of things. Um, it's more traditional in its nature, and you do have a lot of energy in the 10th house, which tends to be more traditional. Getting things done, ambition, like how do you get things done? Well, you get things done because there is a structure there that has worked in the past. Now, not all structures from the past are going to work now, but besides that, besides this being a more traditional card, it's also a card that asks you to listen to the still small voice within. So you must listen to that for yourself. The challenge, you're going to be super busy. This is the Knight of Wands. This is taking your show on the road. And of course, you're going to be super busy and people are going to see you. So make sure that as you go through the month, that you're not so busy and just so like that you take shortcuts. You really kind of have to go by the rules this month. Okay, let's see what's underneath it. Okay, we have some heartbreak here. Um, this could be heartbreak for you personally, or it could just be generalized heartbreak looking around at the world and saying, oh man, there has to be a better way than this. Aren't we beyond this? Haven't we grown at all? Um, but the Three of Swords is not just about heartbreak, because the Three of Swords is about freedom. It's about something happens to break the stalemate. And from that, we have a fire in the heart, the fire in the heart. See the fire there? Um, and while it is painful, it is in its way a new beginning. Let's see what's in the past. The Four of Cups, this is some dissolution. Uh, Dissolution, is that the word I want to use? This is, this is a card where you're feeling like what's the use, or boredom. There can be some emotional boredom here, or you can just feel a bit powerless with that card, feeling your feelings, but what can you do about it, right? um there are things being offered to you, there are things around you that you're not looking at, right? But this is the past, so this is in the past. Let's see what's in the sky. We have the Hermit. This is wisdom. This is also standing on your own. The 9 is about standing on your own. It's interesting because January 2024, while we're in an 8 vibration year, January 2024 vibrates to the Hermit, the 9 vibration. And so this is a time when you can share your wisdom, but you're going to be standing on your own. This is not something that you're working with somebody else to do. You're standing out there and you're putting out your wisdom and you're shining your light, because your light needs to be shown. Your light needs to be shown. Let's see what's in the immediate future. Yeah, victory. This is a very, very good month for you. Victory. Now, of course, when I do a Celtic cross, this particular card, the future card, is pretty much the card for the whole month. And so if you apply yourself, you will be victorious. That's a Leo card. It's a lovely, lovely card. Okay, let's see how it's seen from the outside. Oh, you're going to be seen as somebody who can manifest. Very, very good energy. The King of Pentacles. Your domestic situation. Yeah, there is something around your domestic situation. You have to be careful. Somebody is not being truthful with you, a little maybe duplicitous, or there's a chance they will betray you. Just be aware of that in your domestic situation. Keep your guard up, okay? And understand that any action you take that's not in alignment with being responsible, you will pay for. So you don't want to. So say somebody tries to break into your house. I'm not saying this is going to happen. This is just an example. Somebody breaks into your house and you hit them over the head with a club. Like yeah, he broke into your house, but maybe hitting him head over the club wasn't the best thing to do because you end up paying on some level. So you hear somebody like doing your doorknob there, trying to get in. Call the police. Let them hit him over the head. No, it's not your job. Okay. Hopes and fears, the Six of Pentacles, that there'll be enough, that there'll be resources will come. It will be and you'll get the help that you need, and you will get the help, and a lot of that help comes from your own efforts. So, and the outcome, the Six of Cups, there's a nostalgia here, but it's a lovely nostalgia. This is a lovely card, and all the sixes, and in fact, there are three sixes in this reading. We have the Six of Wands, the Six of Pentacles, and the Six of Cups is all located in the heart. It's all located in Tippereth on the Tree of Life. And so this is a balancing time. It's a time when the scales are balanced. So if you've been putting a lot of effort and not getting anything back, this is when you get stuff back. Let's see if we can get a major arcana. We have the Ace of Wands, new ideas, new beginnings, new creativity, and judgment, ascension. Ascension. You're waking up to your potential, Aries, and not a minute too soon. All right. Underneath it, we have um, the Wheel of Fortune, change. So things are looking up. The Eight of Wands, you need to use the Eight of Swords, you need to use your intuition to get through some hairy situations. Okay. Utilize your intuition, be very careful, step by step, right? That was the first card, the Hierophant says. And then we have the Two of Cups, which is love and compassion, companionship, and fun. So a really, really nice month. I like this for you, Aries. Wonderful. My husband's an Aries, so I'm happy to see all of this. All right. And I'm going to pull a oracle card as well, but I actually haven't decided what oracle. So let me grab an oracle deck and I'll be right back. So in honor of the fact that Pluto's going back into Aquarius, we're going to use the Starseed Oracle. So this is for January for Aries. We're all being called as Army of Lights. We are the Army of Lights. We are the way showers. We are the way showers. And the only way the people are going to find their way is if you light it up for them. And it's easy enough. All you really have to be is yourself. And the best part of yourself. Breath of the cosmos, my will to thy will, micromanaging the universe. Oh no, I'm married to an Aries. Okay, let's see what this says. I don't think I'd actually ever seen this one, so this is very interesting. I'm going to just read it from the book because it's such a wonderful book. When we rely on our own will, we are micromanaging the universe and resisting the natural flow of life. We are not trusting the mysterious breath of life. We're rejecting the great cosmic intelligence and relying instead on our personal strength. When we do this, we find ourselves attempting to bend things to our will. We spend our time forcing, pushing, and living from a space of trying to. Everyone around us can feel it, and the universe can too. You're being called to stop micromanaging the universe and trust the breath of life, to surrender to the greater will that God has for you, to move from my will to thy will. When you surrender to the greater will of life, you begin dancing with the rest of life when you bow to the great mystery and say, please use me, please show me the way. Little by little, you find yourself living your most fulfilling, authentic life. This is lovely. When you surrender your personal will, when you relinquish control and release the way you think things should be and surrender to the greater will, you find yourself being led. You begin breathing the breath of life. And the interesting thing about the 8 vibration is that it is located in the throat chakra, and the throat chakra is where the personal will steps aside and divine will can work through us. And so really, we are simply, this year of the 8, we are conduits of divine will. And you guys, man, you Aries, not really afraid of anything. Um, uh, Sometimes to your detriment, not always though, but a willingness to be who you are. And let me point out, which I didn't point out in the astrology, is that the North Node is in Aries now. And so we're all being asked to move in the direction of Aries. And for you, Aries, it's your first house. So be your best self. It's going to be an exciting, I think, profitable to a certain extent, and great beginning to what promises to be a crazy year. Okay, guys, have a wonderful month. Like and subscribe if you would. Give me a thumbs up if you like my work. I do have a Patreon page. That's very helpful to me if you want to do that. All the links are below for the readings. The links are below for Patreon. And my email's down there if you want to, if you just have a question, you can always reach out that way. That's the best way to contact me. All right. Take care, everyone. I'll see you next month, Aries. Namaste.